Have him back on TV again, one of our most popular and versatile actors, easily moves from one starring role to another. He's back on the screen Sunday night. You'll see him in TV's latest film for him, Aftermath, A True Test of Love. Here's Richard Chamberlain.
Look back his head.
How are you?
Hi,
Nice to see you, Richard.
Nice to have you.
How you doing? Look at the new hairdo.
Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
The new straight look back, right?
Well, yeah, this is for the... I just finished the film yesterday in South Carolina and North Carolina. It's about a kind of phony preacher, real bad guy.
Yeah.
You play a villain for the first time,
well, it's
right?
the first really full-out villain I've ever played, and it was fun. Gosh, it was interesting.
One of those hell and brimstone preachers?
Yeah, and he's not for real at all. But he uses that to wheedle his way into people's lives. And there's this family, this kind of poor family, the father has stolen $50,000 from the local bank, and then he died in jail because he got shot. And the preacher's after that money. So
modern day Elmer Gantry.
Yeah, well, sort of.
Yeah.
So who decides, what your look is going to be? You or the director, or?
This was the director's idea. I had longer hair, and it was dyed gray for the film that we're publicizing
Sunday
today,
night,
the
yeah.
Aftermath.
Yeah.
And I liked that look.
Very dignified.
Yeah, well, it was, and I thought that would be good for the preacher, but he says, no. He said, you start this thing out in jail, you got to have this rotten jailhouse haircut. So they just shaved it all off, and I ended up liking it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No fuss, no muss.
It's real easy in the morning. If your kid turns the shower on you, you just go, and it's okay.
That's what she did last night.
That's exactly how I looked last night, too.
So
you're working all the time then, huh? You mean you finish one, they're just about getting that
Well,
out?
that's the way it's been this year, and it's been wonderful, because the first one, Aftermath, it's really about love. It's about what is love in a family. And, and this one is about, the one I just finished is about hate, and how that can destroy you.
But that's the joy of being an actor.
Yep, it sure is.
Actor and singer.
Oh, well, that was a lot.
Listen, let me ask you
When
something.
he did Dream.
Was that on here? Yeah, as a matter of fact, look what we
Where'd
have.
you get that?
Look what we have.
Where?
This is the old Richard Chamberlain.
I had both of these.
Richard Chamberlain sings.
Oh, no.
And there he is again. And you had some terrific songs. Yeah, All I Do Is Dream of You, A Quiet Love, Love Me Tender, Love Me True.
Yeah. Elvis told me once he had that on his jukebox. That was really
What a
cool.
thrill,
He had
huh?
my version of it
No
on his
kidding.
jukebox, yeah.
Does the name Carolyn Trojanowski?
Oh, yeah, she's a terrific singing teacher.
Yes, and you went to her.
Yeah, for a long time.
I took a couple of lessons from her years ago.
Are you
out
kidding?
there,
Really?
and she was so proud of you, yeah.
Well, she was great. She
Yeah, that's
really
good.
helped my life around.
Do you
Did you ever
sing?
consider doing a musical on Broadway or that sort of thing?
I've thought about it. I did one a long time ago, which was one of the great disasters that ever hit this town.
Really?
No kidding.
It was called Breakfast at Tiffany's, and it was a hugely expensive musical for the time.
Who wrote the music?
Bob, he wrote Carnival. Bob.
I'm sorry,
I
put you on the
can't think.
spot like that.
Yeah. Merrill, Robert Merrill.
Oh, Robert Merrill.
Yeah, Bob Merrill. And the music was okay.
Kind of based on the book at the time?
Yeah, it was based on the book. And everybody good I ever heard of was working on it, but it was one of those things where the magic just didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Phew, and it,
You
not
put
a
all
one
those
that
great
did.
ingredients in,
Yeah.
and it
Not a one-nighter, though.
We never even opened in New York.
Never even opened. That's bad.
We did
Now
four
that's bad.
previews, and the audience hated it so much. They walked out in droves. They go, what are you doing? And
even if I
so
hated the show, I would never walk out of
Never
something
walk
you were
out.
in.
well, they did, and Mary Tyler Moore was in it. It was
Holy
They
Mary.
walked out on our Mary?
on your Mary.
Oh,
Mary, Richard Chamberlain, two of the biggest stars we have.
no wonder you all haven't done any musicals since then. My God.
We're going to regroup here and come right back and try to talk about something pleasant for a change. Never even opened. Just looking over some of the great miniseries that Richard's been involved in, Shogun and the Thornbirds, and of course the Kildare series and so on. Did you ever turn down something that you wished you hadn't, something that went on to become a big success?
I can't think of anything, except a long time ago there was a picture called Westworld with Yul Brynner and
yes.
Dick Benjamin. Well, they had offered me the Dick Benjamin part, and for some reason, I can't remember why, I turned it down. And then he proceeded to make an awful lot of money on that film. I'm not sure how good the film was. It would have been fun to make that bundle.
It's getting harder and harder to make Richard Chamberlain leave Hawaii now, though. The part, I would think, would have to be pretty...
I love living there. It's really, after Los Angeles. The business is real tough in L.A. And it was good finally to get... I was born in L.A., so I can badmouth the town a little bit if I want to. It was just getting a little tough for me. I don't know.
What do you mean in terms of traffic
Well,
and crowds?
that and
Life,
also the
lifestyle.
and show business is real tough and kind of.
So where do you live? On a
cold
cliff
there.
out there in Hawaii with the waves crashing beneath you?
No, I live on the beach, way out where nobody ever goes, in a place called Waianae. It has a terrible reputation, and so nobody ever goes out there.
What's
Well,
the
you're
reputation?
just going to have some tourists now.
The local.
Don't sell it for them. They'll find it on the map.
The local folk live out there, and the rumor is that they're not too welcoming to haoles. We're haoles. It means without spirit, haoles. But actually, they're really nice, and they're great, and we get on fine.
House right on the beach?
It's beautiful. It's right on the beach.
Every morning you wake up, you stand on your little veranda, and the waves, you see the waves roll right up to you.
Well, almost.
Sun shining down on it.
It's not a fancy house, but it's a great place.
You did your house in Los Angeles all in Japanese at one point. Was that after Shogun?
Well, it wasn't, it was partly Japanese. It wasn't all Japanese. It was kind of Japanese Southwestern.
Now that's American.
Wait a minute. That's what we have here. We don't know what this is, but I
We
think...
started the trend on Japanese Southwestern.
This is a combination of Santa Fe and Tuckahoe right here. We don't sure what that is.
But it got a lot of coverage because it was the time in your life when you were supposed to be going minimalist. And
Well, it was simple. The spaces were nice. That's what was Japanese about it. You could empty out all the furniture and it would still be a kind of nice place to be, which is the essence of Japanese architecture in a way.
But Hawaii's home for you.
Yeah, Hawaii's home now.
All right, so where did you do Aftermath? Was that over in...
Aftermath was all in Los Angeles.
All in
it was supposed to be Utah. It's a true story of a family in Utah. A wonderful, upstanding family. I play the father. And he's a little too busy providing to really get to know his kids, but he's a good dad. And the mother's the heart of the family, played by Michael Learned. She's just wonderful. And the kids are just wonderful in it. But anyway, this terrible crime happens. I don't know if I should describe it in too much detail, but this terrible thing happens.
to the family?
To the mother and the youngest son. And it's really about how the father, through this tragedy, learns to feel and learns to be truly intimate with his children. And in that sense, I think it's a very meaningful story.
Well, let's take a look at a clip here. Here you are with Michael Learned arguing over her concern that their son is late coming home, which is every parent's concern. Take a look now at Richard Chamberlain in Aftermath.
He's not at Frank's, and there's no answer at the hi-fi shop. I think he's in trouble, and I want you to help me find him.
You want me to get up, get in the car, and go looking for him just because he's an hour late?
Maybe he went straight over to the library.
How many times do I have to say this? I know Terry. He'd call first.
Irene, I can't go. I'm on call. But even if I wasn't on call, I still wouldn't go because I don't think we should go clipping his wings all the time.
I'm not clipping his wings. I'm worried about him.
Pamper him half to death. And he's not going either. There's no reason anybody should go. You know why we had such a nice vacation? It wasn't because we had more time. It was because you were constantly worrying about the kids.
At least I care.
And that's just the beginning of what really happens to the family.
Based on a true story?
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
It's always the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's based on fact.
Yeah.
Well, it's Aftermath, A Test of Love. It's on CBS on Sunday night, and it sure is good to see you guys.
Thanks so much.
Good to be here. Take care and good luck.
Thank you.
Right on the water, huh? Right on the
Right on the water.
In the kitchen next with Jeffrey Nathan.